Okay.
You never say that.
So,
Neal, you never say that. You know that.
Just as you're about to, like, murder these people, your mother opens the door and she says, Phillip, my son, what have you done? And you see this shock of horror on her face as she looks down on her husband in love and sorrow at this dying man gurgling on the floor. And just this dread soaks your skin. Like, your entire body goes hot and then cold, and you just, like, drop your sword. And you just, like, unbuckle all of your armor, tear off your clothes, and jump out the window, and then go running off into the forests behind Denton.
Well, see you guys later. That was a good session.
And we don't see Sir Phillip for the rest of this year.
What?
So,
what happens to my love of family? Does it drop?
yeah, I think it does. Let me take a look to tell you exactly what happens. I think it drops immediately. Passion.
What?
Oh my god.
73 to 78.
What?
Oh, it's so awesome. You immediately lose 1 point in the passion, and you are maddened. Maddened. A character may be driven mad by his passions. This madness may occur at once, or once the relevant action is over. It's right now, yo. Once madness sets in, the player must immediately give his character sheet to the game master, who describes what ensues based only on what the other player characters know and can perceive. Normally, mad characters run away immediately. Yeah. So we'll have to come up with something awesome that happens while your character is, like, wandering the wilds, Sir Phillip.
Oh my god.
So, like, Sir Lunette, what was happening with you?
I'm sorry. My like stream PC just like froze and
Oh, nice.
JP's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I can't. I'm trying to get it started. So what I was saying prior to that, I don't know if people heard, was after the 5th day, I was going to bust out the mirror and talk with Caliborn.
Yeah.
And tell him what was happening. But now this has all ensued, so I don't know where I am, and I missed portions of it.
We just went to see what was happening elsewhere alongside your actions. So we'll say it is the 5th day. It is the full moon, and you are pulling out the mirror. So this beautifully attractive, noble face with a well-kept red beard appears in the mirror, and he smiles at you with his eyes twinkling, and he says, "Ah, Sir Lunette, I have been anticipating your communication. Tell me, how goes it back in the land of England?"
And I basically recap what has happened in Salisbury. Oh my gosh, I'm probably saying it wrong. Now I'm like all worried about how I'm saying things, and like my
Embrace
state,
it, Maggie.
and what happened with the fellow that was staying there. And I kind of say, well, you know, at least he left a little nice note, and a rose is kind of cute, but very like off-putting and odd, and not appropriate. And then I tell him of Phillip and how I'm going to meet up with him, and all of that.
Yeah, well, when you get to the part about Sir Phillip, Caliborn is just like, yeah, good luck with that. And and he says, "Oh, that's astounding. A gentleman had moved into your house. That's quite presumptive, don't you think?"
Very.
And what did you deal? How did you deal with that situation? What did you do?
I proved that I was the owner, and I made him go back to where he's supposed to be.
Do you want to like roll an orate to try and tell him the tale?
I do not.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have
to.
No,
awesome.
It will be another terrible experience.
Cool. So, yeah, he says, well, don't let me keep you for too long. I know that you must be waiting to get to your friend Sir Phillip and see what is happening with him at his manor. But Sir Lunette, is it possible that I could come visit you this year at your manor now that you have returned it to your proper ownership?
I welcome him to come visit within the year, and just to let me know whenever he is interested, so that we can prepare for such a thing.
He says, I will contact you in 2 months' time on the full moon. And, Sir Lunette,
Mm-hmm.
I am terribly sorry about the intervening time that has passed. It was not my intention to keep you or your friends in the land of Fairy for so long. I know it must be hard for you to return to a land which looks so different from when you left it.
I agree, and kind of run him through what has happened in that time period. Well, I mean, I kind of already did before that, but just a little bit further into like what has happened with my other friends that he had met and how it had affected them.
Yeah, yeah. He nods and follows along sympathetically. Do you tell him about the sword and the stone?
Yes.
When you get to that part, he sort of scowls and then smiles and he says, yes, I recognize the work of Merlin when I see it.
What was that?
I don't know. He's hearing Merlin.
Yes.
He's having an offside chat with Merlin over there.
He's hearing Merlin, who's playing YouTube videos over in the next room.
He would be. What magic is this?
Yeah. Good. So, you've made plans to see each other in 2 months' time.
And I mentioned that I will call upon him at another full moon.
Excellent. He responds that he will look forward very much to your contact, and that he
Sorry
can't
that I
wait
had to
see
contact
you
him
in
with
person.
such bad news on top of that. Perhaps we can chat again when it's not such a sad moment.
Yes, he nods and says, well, may our next meeting be under more favorable circumstances. All right, so you guys all end up gathering over by off on the road near Denton, where Sir Phillip told you he would meet you, and he's not there. He's totally gone. Like the chair where he usually sits is completely empty, and everything.
Well,
It's not like Philip to not be where he says he's going to.
well, we knew he was going to perhaps fight with Saxons, correct?
Well, we
That's
knew
true.
that yeah.
Do we know? I guess I asked Lunette, but I'm really asking the DM. Do we know where his homestead is exactly?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have all visited each other and had dinner parties and whatnot, so you're actually meeting just on the road that branches off to head off towards Denton, which is where
Do we
Sir
see-
Phillip told
Yeah.
you he would meet you.
Do we see anyone nearby,
yeah,
like maybe
yeah.
farming or anything?
Yeah, actually, there is a farmer working a field nearby. It's just a field of wheat.
Can I use my intrigue or something to chat with them and
Field of wheat.
Oh yeah, totally.
let's see if I fail this. Haha. Oh,
A 3.
good. Yes.
Very nice. Yeah, you head over and you chat with him. You're like trying your intrigue, huh? That's interesting. So, without trying to divulge too much of your own reasons for being there, you get into a casual conversation with this peasant, and you start making subtle hints and turning the conversations in very subtle ways, and the peasant's just looking at you like, "Car lady, I don't know what you're talking about with those birds flying and those hounds baying. Could you just spit it out and tell me what you want?" If you want to get information from him, since he's not a courtly individual, when you start speaking in the language of intrigue, he just really it blows his mind. He
Gotcha.
doesn't understand a word of it. But if you had folklore, that would help you extremely in conversing with the simple folk of the land.
I have a 2 in folklore. I will attempt to do
How
it.
lucky do you feel?
0% lucky, but
Oh, man, you were pretty close. So eventually you're like, yes, I'm asking you about Sir Phillip. Come on, man, Sir Phillip. And this peasant is like, oh, Sir Phillip, all right, he's been dead for these 15 years, no? Well, yes, haven't heard of him in a long time. No, it turns out that Master Brangor married his mum, whose name was Magdalicious or something like that. Gwendid.
Magdelicious.
Magdalicious. Sorry. Married his mum, Gwendid, and now they've got 2 fine children, right? Though You know what? I haven't seen the master in nearly 4 days. Normally he comes around and sees how his fields are doing. Wonder what's up with that. Hope he's not dead.
I kind of ask where he might know if oh my goodness, I can't talk. If he might know where Philip's mother is. Magdelicious.
He points down the road and he says, "All right, old Gwen did. Well, we sometimes call her Magdelicious, you know, on account of how beautiful she is. She lives right down there at the end of the lane. You just ride down there about 15, 20 minutes and then turn left at the creek and go, you know," he sort of like gives you a meandering explanation of local landmarks and whatever. But eventually he gets to the point that you just follow the road and it dead ends at Denton.
All right.
And that's where you can find his mother.
For the chat, what chat it was.
Yes.
Took far too long.
He nods curtly and tugs his forelock and he says, "All right, Sir Lady Knight. Glad to be helping you there."
And I come back to my horse, kind of tell these guys what this fellow knew, which is nothing, but might as well go talk to Philip's mom and see what's up.
Yeah. All right. So, you ride down. But
her husband hasn't shown up in the past 4 days, so that is kind of odd.
Yeah. You ride down the lane, and you come upon the front yard of the Denton Manor, which is a well-kept front yard with lots of hedges and a number of fruit trees, things like that. And you see a large crowd gathered out in front around a burial, a funeral site. There are a lot of people dressed in black. You see an elderly woman with a black veil draped across her face, and there are like 6 to 8 knights standing around outside on the edges of the yard with their swords and full armor, and they're all facing out away from the funeral. What do you do?
I guess I dismount from my horse and walk towards them slowly and somberly.
Yeah.
That's my ability.
I do the same. I take off my helmet as well if I'm wearing it.
One of the knights who's like standing on the road that leads out of the manor, he holds up his hand. He says, "Halt. Who are you and what relation of you are to Brangor?"
I have a sigh of relief and then wait for Quinn or Lunette to speak for me. Or speak for us, rather.
Well,
Quinn, you're usually the one who does anyway.
I'm the one. Good sir, can you tell us what's going on here?
Ah, so you know not then. Well, it turns out that Lady Gwyndead's long-lost son, Sir Phillip, came back into the house, or some strange man claiming to be Sir Phillip, and ran through Sir Brangor with a sword, defenseless, not even in his armor, not even a chance to defend himself, simply murdered him, and then leapt out the window after tearing off his clothes and ran into the forest. Aye,
Jesus.
sometimes at night you can still hear the man wailing in the woods.
I mean, I kind of find this a little hard to believe. It is true that Sir Phillip has returned. For I have been traveling with him for quite some time, but I don't know what to say about this news that you have just.
Oh boy.
Told me.
The guard sort of like strokes his beard and he says, "Well, you know what they say, those Saxons simply go crazy at any moment. You never know. You should count yourself lucky you're no longer traveling with such a Saxon bastard as Sir Phillip."
Now you wait here just a moment.
I
For
was
he is no Saxon, and it has no Saxon blood, and he would drop you in the place in which you stand if he heard those words exit your mouth.
I'm sure he would, just as he did to Sir Brangor most dishonorably. Against the knightly code, what, to slay a man undefended in his own house. Truly a shame. I can't believe it. If you ask me...
It was my house, guys.
If this was true that he did do such a task, I would assume that it was with good reason.
Yeah.
His madness is a just punishment from God for his dishonorable and unknightly actions. And you hear as you're sort of standing around, the priest by the funeral site is saying, "Almighty God, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and such like things like that." And then you hear this from the woods nearby, and like birds fly up, and all of the guards immediately tense and like grab their swords, and they say, "Halt! The mad Saxon is near. We must be on guard."
I hate you, Steve.
Oh my God.
This is why Pendragon is the best game ever.
I honestly, I don't even know what knights. Perhaps we should just go look for Sir Phillip.
Yeah, Neal, having 19 piety, would I or otherworldly, would I have any sense of command over like the religious proceedings of something like this?
Oh man, yeah, totally. Like if you roll against your piety, then you might be able to interject yourself in a very seamless sort of way.
Okay, I want to try to do that. I don't know what that. I guess I offer to the priest at hand to be the one to carry out the proceedings or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say something like, "I'd like to offer a prayer for Sir Brangor," or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I totally do that.
Go ahead and roll on your piety.
Let me switch scenes. And as I'm doing this, as I motion or walk over to do this, I like look at Quinn and like motion towards the woods and like go take care of this immediately while I tend
So
to these people.
as you say what you said, Sir Quinn, about going and finding this man,
Is it
the knight
possible?
who you're speaking with, he puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "No, the mad Saxon will slay you as surely as he'd slayed Sir Brangor. He is wild. He has a sword that's 10 feet long. His muscles bulge with Saxon rage. His hair is burning red and curly and long. He will surely slay
I
you."
understand that you are fearful of this man, as you should be, for in combat, and as a knight he is a most dangerous one. But have no worries, my child, for I will take care of this along with my knights, and we will find Sir Phillip.
Cool.
So I rolled
Sir
a
Emrys,
6.
you're totally fine.
Yeah.
Sir Quinn, why don't you give yourself a check to your valorous?
Okay.
And the knight sort of looks at you in awe, and he says, "You would go hunt down the mad Saxon? Why, Sir Knight, surely I have never known one as valorous as yourself. Godspeed. May Jesus, our Lord and Savior, protect you in the wilderness of the woods, in the darkness of the depths, as the mad Saxon hunts you down step by step through the thorny woods, chases you, and then splits open your chest and drinks your blood." Sir Emrys, what are you saying as you pray over the dead and broken body of Brangor Kiner, who Sir Phillip most mercilessly slew in cold blood in his own house?
I don't know what the actual words are, Stephen, but basically I'm trying to be as proper and tell a noble tale of this former owner of these lands to the best of my ability, and try to take as much of the heat off of the mad Saxon, as we're now calling him, within the forest.
All right, so
and redirect all that towards the sadness that is befallen the grounds.
Cool. You're like you're sort of transmuting emotions here from the rage and fury into, like, mourning. Okay. Yeah. You deliver a stirring prayer for the soul of good Christian Brangor Kiner, a strong, noble Englishman without a drop of Saxon blood in his body. And everybody starts weeping. There's not a dry eye in the yard. In fact, even all of the knights around the edges start weeping as well. And Sir Quinn goes riding off towards the forest. Sir Lunette, are you riding along with Sir Quinn?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
My goal, Stephen, is to take all eyes and thoughts away from Quinn, Lunette, and the Mad Saxon in the forest, and then to eventually join them once I've done so.
Okay, cool. So you're completely successful.
Okay.
Everybody turns around and just like they're filled with holy, reverie. And
I do
nobody...
so like it, how priest after a service will shake the congregation's hands and like talk to them afterwards. I do that as well to every single person.
Yeah, you know what Sir Philip's mother, Gwendid, who some people call Magdelicious, she comes up to you.
That's her stripper name, according to
Yeah.
It's just what the hell happened when I was getting a drink.
Sir Lunette met a peasant who couldn't remember your mother's name, so he called her
Magdelicious?
Magdelicious.
Oh my God, Steven, you're the worst. I hate you so much right now.
So, Gwendid comes up to you and she says, that was a stirring speech, good Sir Knight, and thank you for speaking so movingly about my dear beloved husband's death. Truly, when he first came to me, I was not enthusiastic about his establishment over the manor. I was happy on my own, but as time went on, I saw what good he was doing for the manor, and I was delighted to have such a strong, handsome man here to manage things for me. And now he is dead. And she turns to you, Sir Emrys, and she says, "Good Sir Knight, I need you to know that man who slew my husband was not my son. I know my son. I know his look. And that face was not his face. It was a face of rage, a Saxon face." And she like... She pauses for a second, puts her hand over her mouth. "I never would shame my country by lying with a Saxon, but with God as my witness, I believe he has cursed me by birthing a natural-born Saxon without any relation to Saxons."
I cup her hand in like a pastorly way and just nod and grieve with her, or appear to grieve with her.
Yeah.
The funeral sort of peters out and people start dispersing back to their own houses and things like that. And she heads back towards the Denton and she says, "Good Sir Knight, can I offer you refreshment? You've done so much for my family here today. It would only be inappropriate for me not to try and see to some of your needs while you are on my lands. Please, tell
JP's
me."
gonna get some Magdelicious. Bow chicka bow.
If I turn to the forest, I cannot see Quinn or Lunette, correct?
No, they have descended into the depths and are lost within the branches.
Much like Steven, much like the, I think it's from the 80s or 70s gif with the man with the beard where it zooms in and then he smiles at the very end. I agree. And I have her escort me to wherever.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I had just taken a drink and I had to laugh so bad. All right, cool. So you head into the house with her, and she pours you a goblet of wine. Now, Sir Quinn and Sir Lunette, you're in the forests, and it's dark. And the forests in England in this time are just incredibly dense and filled with brambles and all sorts of wild creatures. You know that there are dragons that live in the forests, and also lesser lizards that live in the forests as well. Yeah, no, shit. I mean, like griffins, for example, unicorns. There's all sorts of crazy shit in the forests. And
Unicorns.
from in the distance, you hear... and like birds fly up and the entire forest goes silent at the sound.
Did you hear that?
I turn to Lunette and I say, the last time one of our knights went mad, I was able to snap them out of it, and I think I can do the same with Sir Richard. However, these forests greatly concern me, Lunette, and here's what I propose. I propose that we do some initial scouting close to where we're at to see if we can just perhaps catch the trail of Sir Philip. And if we cannot, then perhaps we will wait until the sun has come and we can feel a little bit safer in our travels.
Yeah, it's about late afternoon. Now, Sir Phillip, I actually do need you to play a little bit here. What's your hunting?
Non-existent. 2, 3. I'm sorry, 3.
Nice.
I don't know where I got a +1 to hunting, but somehow I got a +1 to hunting from something.
All right, I'm giving you a +10 for your madness. So your hunting is considered at a 13. So why don't you and Sir Quinn roll off on your hunting skills to see if Sir Quinn can find a trail?
14.
8. So I was
okay.
success.
So Sir Quinn succeeds and Sir Phillip fails. So you find like a spot in the woods where like all sorts of branches have been torn up, and there's like scraps of clothing all over the ground. And you say to yourself, aha, surely if there were a place that looked like a mad Saxon's lair, this would be it.
I would never say that about Sir Phillip. But Lynette, we have found a clue. Obviously, these clothes were ripped off of Sir Phillip after he realized what he had done. I
Can't
think we should
imagine
keep
what
looking.
it would be like to realize that you've killed your mother's love.
Let us keep looking.
And I follow along.
So let's see. Sir Quinn, yeah. Sir Quinn, would you roll a d8 for me, please?
Okay.
And then a bear attacks us. He's
With
breathing
fire. Breathing fire. 7. Okay. Well, you're right where you are. Perfect. Let's see. I'll put Sir Phillip down here at the end. He's the goal. Okay. So go ahead and roll off again. Your 13 versus Sir Quinn's whatever it is.
Fail again.
Oh, Sir Quinn. Okay.
God.
So good.
What? Shit! How? What? No.
Oh, don't even. Don't even.
Emerson's going to be the only one that makes us out alive and bones Neal's mom.
I swear to God, JP, you bone my mom, I'm going to fucking kill you.
You're going to be dead. It won't matter.
Kill you. I'll make a new character whose entire point is to kill you.
Yeah, that's a popular thing on these roleplay shows. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's a popular thing. By the way, Steven, beware. Anytime you ever play in a game that I DM, you're fucked.
I'm going to get so killed. I'm
You're
dead.
fucked.
Oh, man.
I'm looking
You two are
forward to
hilarious, too.
It's going to be good. So come on. We have to figure out what the hell happens as a result of crit failing your hunting. You get lost in the woods is what happens, but exactly what that means. There are charts and graphs.
Should we cliffhanger this and break?
Yeah, let's go on a break.
Sweet. YouTube and we hate me, but that's how you make the money, guys. That's how you make the money. All right.
Gotta keep them coming back.
You gotta keep them coming back. We'll be right back, guys. After this quick break, we'll see you then.